I'm Marianne Clyde, and this is
Lorna McGill. Welcome.
Go ahead, Lorna.
Isn't she amazing?
And speaking of amazing, we've got an amazing guest today. Shock, shock. We've got Monica Fernandi. She's a life coach. Say hi, Monica.
Hello, beautiful souls.
She's a life coach, a yoga instructor, and an author. And she's got a big event coming up. So we're going to be able to talk about that too. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, ladies. Gratitude with a capital gratitude. Really grateful and excited to have you both. I've been watching this evolve, and as we all do, evolve. Happy Women's Month, by the way, International Women's Month and Women's Week. So
Women's History Month, yeah.
Women's History, yes. So indeed, congrats to you all.
Thank you, and to you.
Thank you.
Let's just get some background first. So our audience that may or may not know you, I want them, tell us about your yoga, your life coaching, and all that's entailed in that. What do you generally offer people for their
I'll dive in with a quote. I like to use quotes. I use quotes in my book as well. I'd like to use a quote that is applicable to today, which was written in the 1700s by Goethe, and it is, doubt can only be overcome by taking action. Doubt can only be overcome by taking action. And that means, as Eleanor Roosevelt said, don't wait for that courage, jump in the ring, right? That Brene Brown whole being vulnerable and jumping in the ring. And as I'm willing to tell you all that I'm in my second half of my life, and even more specifically, second half of the 50s, I'm here to represent the fact that there was a lot of doubt in my life early on in the decades of my life. And I am now baby booming. I'm the last of the baby boomers, and I'm making up for lost time, I want to say. But every moment to this point of all of our lives was purposeful and meaningful and needed to be part of our story. My story is, and how I got into the yogic path, back up. Let's go to New York, New Jersey, where I was from. And I had an acting career, and I was on the stage and I was on television. And of course, I became a waitress because I had to supplement my income that was more or less extra work on television. I was a fitness person. I was always a fitness person taking class because of the industry I was in. And then I found Taekwondo as my son, I have 3 kids, wanted to be a martial artist because of the Power Rangers, right? And so fast forward, still had my acting career, but raised the family and was able to dabble in both of the acting and the Taekwondo martial arts for fun, not a career yet. However, then my mother passed away, and I was 6 years training in martial arts, got my black belt, and trained with my kids, and my gears shifted again because of that loss. I went from sparring and having to spar in high energy fitness to now needing to go more reflective and introspective. And so I was into my very first yoga discovery, which I took in Seattle. I did a hot yoga out there. I knew the energy needed to shift in me. I loved it so much that I pursued the training for it. I was nearly 30 years of spiritual fitness because of Taekwondo, because that's the Asian philosophy and the Eastern philosophy. And my depth of spirituality started 30 years ago. Raised a Catholic, but very inquisitive about the methods of the Eastern philosophy, which is how I broke the brick with my bare hand. I was 38 years old and I got my black belt, and I did not break any bones doing that. And that was a feat in itself. And then I started training. So the yoga then became a thing. And so 20 years nearly of teaching yoga has evolved, just like our careers do, into the depth of yoga yokes the body and the mind. We in the West go to yoga class typically to stretch our muscles because we're tight, but there's 8 limbs of it, right? So inquiry and asking questions and learning about it lead me to becoming the life coach. But I've always kind of coached people's lives using yoga as an umbrella. You follow? So we all have these things that we are in service for, called to serve with, right? A podcast is a platform to share your lessons in life and wisdom. And so anyway, long story short, the doubt that I had that I could make a career of my acting or a career of my Taekwondo martial, I wanted to be Jackie Chan, a career of, the next Shiva Ray, she's one of my faves that I've taken classes with of yoga. I am now happy to tell you, where's my book? This book that I did write is a combination of
I noticed you had a
lessons.
bunch in the back of you, and I was going to
Oh.
say, can you reach back there and get one of your books? But
Yeah, this
you
is
had
my
it ready.
thank you. Yeah, there it is. This is my coaching platform, my virtual coaching location. So there they are. But the bottom line is, ladies, you know, the doubt that we have because of what fear might have, or the voices of our own, you know, self-talk, or that of our people, our mentors, our parents, our spouses, our ex-spouses, whatever that was ingrained has fueled the doubt, the self-doubt, and the lack of confidence, and the self-sabotage, so that we don't take action, you see. And breaking that brick, and I too jumped out of a plane, by the way, kudos to you all. I did it when I turned 40. I decided, you know what, let's just do this. So the little by little effect is now snowballed, because right now we're, and it was Marianne, I worked, Marianne and I have a story too, because it takes place on the other side of the world, but hold that thought.
Right.
I learned, you know, the Viktor Frankl book that you brought to my attention, which I knew of, but I hadn't yet added to my library, really talks about, you know, how do you see your end of your life, reverse engineering, and let's look at what we have left, and let's live life fully in the present moment. No more doubt, ladies and gents. No more fear. You jump into that ring. You jump off that cliff. You take that hike to Mount Everest base camp. You go to the top of any and all mountains, literally, metaphorically, emotionally, financially. And guess what? At 58 years old, I can safely tell you that I have made the most money I've ever made. I've written a book for the first time. I'm going back to the stage. I'm coming alive again. I am so excited for this amazing thing called life, that I'm not fearful. I'm embracing the now, right? And so I don't know if that answered your question.
Well, hold up your book again, because I interrupted you when you were holding it up, and then you never said the name of it. So it's Open Your Presence.
Can you see it? Open your presence. A simple
method to find calm in chaos.
Yes, there it is. And it's
so
small. And
can we talk about what your simple method is?
I would love to. Yes. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you again for supporting it and reviewing it and so on. It became a nudge on my shoulder in the middle of the night. Y'all get that kind of a feeling of something's telling you got to get out and write about or research about. It was my calling. And I wouldn't say curiosity muscle, but the mala bead, which is the prayer beads here that I'm wearing on my wrist, they're usually worn around the neck. The mala, M-A-L-A, mala bead, is something that I was introduced to as a yoga teacher. The mala bead has 108 beads on it. Because I said earlier, I was raised Catholic. I was raised with rosary beads. I talk about this in my book. So I believe today, no matter where your faith is, we all could use a little more lift of energy and consciousness, prayer, and good vibes and intention. Would you agree? Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
So the 108, my curious me, who never asked questions before because of fear, I didn't want to raise my hand, which I also talk about in here, encouraging the amazing self-discovery in you to take that bold raising of your hand. Wait, I don't know what you're talking about, and ask why 108 is in the beads of the mala, and ask and research. And do you know what? Here's the funniest thing. It's not really funny, but it's pretty true. Sometimes people just pass on what they learned from other people. I wasn't getting it right. We just go to church because our parents went to church and their parents went to church. I want to know your why. I want to know why? Because then underneath the layers, like an onion skin, you find the meat and the juice and the depth. And I love all that stuff. So the Mala 108 then became a research project for the last 7 years. And let me tell you, just like the bamboo tree that takes, I think, only 5 years to bloom, it's under the ground. I call myself the bamboo strategy. Have you heard of this? So you're under the ground and you're brewing and you're like ready to, when you are ready to push through that mud and take off, you know, you go and you're unstoppable. And this book took me about 7 years of research and my culmination of all of my years of spiritual fitness, if you will. So the 108 method, I decided to coin the term based on a sacred number That is a, it's not trademarked, but it's a domain name. The 108 method is my thing. There's 108 cause, the 108 way. Everybody else has different ways of looking at it. But here's the Cliff Notes version. Ready? There's going to be a test.
Ready.
Pay attention.
Yes.
Okay. And I talk about this in a short way. Thank God my editor, thank God for her, because and I think Marianne, you helped me find her too. Because my list of
the wealth of information.
yes. The 108 length of research that I was going to put in the book, she's like, no, too much information. Just give them a few things. So in short, even shorter than that, the one is we are all one. We are all one human family. We're all in it, unity together, right? All under the same beautiful one limitless sky. 0 is, here's the logic behind why I was drawn to the Buddhist philosophy, is that they believe we come into the world with nothing and we leave with nothing, right? It is the attachment to things, places, concepts, people that causes suffering. And our human condition is in the brain is we can't let go of old t-shirts, old stories, a title that we used to have. It's really hard to adapt and be resilient. Once we let go, we are free. It's liberation. And the 8 is, of course, infinity. So my belief and what I talk about in the book, which is not a religious book, it's not a yogic book, it's a self-help book to help the reader find the way one step at a time. Hold space. And this is what I heard in your other talking about manifestation. Pause, breathe, and then feel whatever the feels are. And they can be infinite amounts of feeling. And so that you take action, therefore, because you know the feelings are not going to last forever. You know that your thoughts are just thoughts. And so it's a 3-step process, and it dives deeper, just like yoga does. It gets you into, right, this is me with my arms up, and that's the freedom. That's the heart opening extension of, in yoga, this is, your pecs are stretching, literally your strength training and your rhomboids and your back muscles. But this is the opposite of depression and fear and that. So being open is very vulnerable, but in that jumping in the ring, that one breath at a time, you'll be okay. You're here now. You have this one body. You'll be okay. And then you hold space for the breath. You're alive. And then the 8 is, you know what? 8 is a strong number too. Oh, what a great number 8 is. But I also look at it like, if you're a little stick figure standing on the top of your number 8 and you slide down and around and you come back up, it's like what goes around comes around. What you put into your day, what you put into your thoughts begets your feelings, begets your actions. So 108. That's a little longer than the Cliff Notes version. But
Oh, I'm glad you shared it.
Thank
Because you use that in your coaching. You used it when you were climbing to Everest Base Camp. You
Every
use
day.
it
Every
in your
day.
yoga, and personal training you do as well, right?
I do, and we do 108. So that in the second half of the book is truly my 108. So it started as a physical fitness in my fitness classes, group fitness and personal training. Yes, I still do. I created the 108 method, kind of like I said earlier. You go to yoga class, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to stretch. And I didn't realize I was going to stretch my imagination and get out of the toxic relationship that I'm in. I didn't realize I was going to stretch the amazing possibilities of going to a different career. I was in comfort mode. I didn't have any idea that yoga was going to do that. But when I see people get off of their medications because of their willingness to take the 8 limbs of yoga into head to toe them. So I created this surface, right? 108 abs. We did it today. Did I do it once or twice? I teach still out at brick and mortar places and virtually. Come and take my class anytime for free. 108 abs. Does it sound daunting to you? Does it sound like a lot?
I was thinking,
Yeah,
she's not going to make me do 108.
Sounds terrible. You're so cute. So, okay. I often joke about Joseph Pilates. Joseph Pilates, who created the 100s. You familiar with that? The 100s. He didn't coin the term where he got it patented or licensed or anything like that. But people are familiar with the 100s at the end of a class or in the middle of a class. And then I say, okay, it's Monica Fernandi's 108s. His didn't necessarily have meaning. It just was to increase awareness of the center of the being to protect your movement in space, mostly athletic people and dancers back in the 20s, right? In Germany, Eastern Europe. So the philosophy of the 108 in abs, I said, wait, hold on. There's 4 sections of your abs, right side, left side, obliques, uppers and lower abdominals. And so I divided it into 4 sets of 27 reps. That sounds doable, right?
That's doable.
Oh yeah, 25 plus another 2 extra. And then for people that can't do it on the floor, I have an answer for you. And I have a video actually in the book. There's a link that you can click on, go to, and that gives you plan B, which would be 108s on the wall, standing upright vertically. And what it does is just like yoga, it starts at the surface, but it's got a deeper meaning, and it becomes a transformational tool to shift from fear to love and to know that you're not alone. Amazingly, right? I have to throw that in a lot now. That's the beautiful, that short and fast, it's a little finisher. Sometimes I'll do 108 warriors, which is 27 divided by 4. And that's the beauty of the research. The best part of my research, I will throw this in, when I was researching 108, one of the things that I absolutely was like, what? You're kidding me. When you go to India, which is on my list, haven't gone yet, and you have an emergency, you don't dial 911, you dial 108. So I thought, so my little term from that is 108 saves lives.
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
that's a good
But
little.
and so speaking of travels, because you do a lot of stuff here in the States, but you've got something big coming up. Tell us about that.
Yes, that is true. I will say this. Speaking of writing a book, let me backtrack on this too. I went to a little workshop that this woman, beautiful Marianne, was having, asked to teach people about how to publish a book. And I went to this to try to get my know-how, right? And she then was conducting, being part of a fundraiser that was going to take us to Nepal to go to Mount Everest Base Camp. And I said, wait, I'm here to talk about book publishing. And then this snowballed because she was really determined. I think you asked everybody, and right everywhere you asked everybody to come on journey with you. So anyway, I bring it home to my,
and not many people said yes.
I know.
Just you and Mike.
I know. Mike and I, my husband, Mike and I, Mike is a outdoors guy, did the whole Appalachian Trail for his first honeymoon. I mean, he loves the outdoors climbing and all that. But he was like, what? She asked you to do what? I want to go. And so long story short, we researched all of it, the cause, the trek, and did it. And then also raised money for the cause, which was wonderful. And I got a taste of, wow, this is amazing.
Mhm.
The Nepal, that's right. Going to Mount Everest Base Camp, couldn't cry. I talk about that in the very first part of my book. It was right. It was hard stuff, right, Marianne?
Yeah, we each had our moments.
We did. We did. And we endured, and
we didn't die.
No. Yeah. But
So Lorna, the next time
a lot of things that she does, we didn't die when we jumped out of an airplane. Well, we didn't.
That's right. No. Shoot, yes, right. That's the thing, is that, we could have taken a helicopter ride like Heather did off there and had to be lifted and so on. But once we came back, I started doing podcasts and interviews about it. And then COVID hit. Mike and I had already decided we were going to go on another trek. So we put it on hold because the world shut down.
Right.
And then we chose the long trail, which is right here in the States. It predates the AT. The long trail goes from bottom of Vermont to top. And this is my second mountain range and the second hardest thing. I want to go back. I think the very hardest thing in my life might have been giving birth without any drugs. I want to go.
Right.
I don't know.
That's no
But
simple task.
yeah, that's a little different. But this second trek gave me another taste of mountains and wilderness and detach and unplug. And I brought this book with me because the second half of the book is journaling.
Right.
I
That's
am,
an opportunity
I feel,
to fill it in. Mhm.
I create, yeah. And so this book is about to be 1 year old. And why I'm telling you is it's on its anniversary, April 18th. It was launched on the 108th day of the year. I know that. Maybe not everybody else knows that unless they came to my book launch. But it just so happened that this serendipitous trip fell into my life after my Vermont trek with Mike. I was at a TED Talk. That was probably the last time I saw you, Marianne. This guy came up and he was talking, and right before our lunch break, he said, go out and have a serendipitous conversation that might lead you to something
right, I remember that.
life-changing. Yeah, that's how I ended up in Santa Marta, Colombia. Bum, ba, bum. That's right here.
There
Can
she
you see that?
goes. There you go. It's
And
beautiful.
that's where we're going to do yoga every day and eating in the beautiful snow-capped mountains. Sierra Nevada, Santa Marta, Colombia. Sierra Nevada translates to snow-capped mountains, even though there's a range of it here in the States. So I had this conversation with a woman who is the conservation director of this property. And she had me at yoga retreat. I was like, what? You're going to have a yoga retreat where? And then it all just fell into place. That was September. By 11/11, I was on a plane by myself flying there to be part of a yoga retreat. And it almost got canceled because it got struck by lightning. The top building that I just showed you, the little tiny hut, but they've since fixed it. We had the retreat. I taught a walking meditation. I was the only English speaking person there. My fellow United States people did not go because the lightning strike caused the other location you had to be in good walking shape to get to the other location. This is in the rainforest. This is an adventure that is kind of like those roads in Nepal that we had to get to Lukla Airport. Hold on to your
Right.
So it's a 2-hour drive. You don't have to hike it. That's the good news. So I knew at that time that I would be going back, and I planted the seed, as I do, to bring back, in honor of the anniversary. I like my visual aids.
Yes. The show and
The
tell.
anniversary of the book, I'm bringing back I'm spearheading my own yoga wellness retreat, which includes coaching and the magic of the Sierra Nevada rainforest, with a plethora of offerings, 9 yoga classes of all different levels, workshops. And yes, it is booking, and I have room still, and it is affordable, and it is a little gem that people don't know about yet. You think Costa Rica, you think Mexico for yoga retreats. Well, this girl, Costa Rica, Santa Marta, people got scared. Why are you going to Colombia? Aren't you scared of Colombia? And I'm here to tell you, again, where your thoughts go is where your feelings go, and where your action goes. And I didn't buy into the thought of fear, which was back in the day, in the 80s, there was some drug lord stuff, Anyway, I just held space for this amazing serendipitous thing. So yes, if anybody wants to go, please reach out to me. There's still places to
How many spaces do you have?
I have, these are called kogi hobs, that little hut that I if you're not watching and you're only listening, it's the indigenous tribes are the Kogis, one of the tribes, and they believe that this part of the world is the heart of Mother Earth, and the river that flows down the mountain here is the breast milk of Mother Earth. Their kogi hobs habitats are shaped at this reserve to emulate the Kogis and respect their people, and to give back to Mother Earth, right? So I have saved 9 of them. I've reserved 9 of them. There's 2 in each. I have room for 4, maybe 6 more, depends if they want single occupancy versus double. It's incredibly affordable for 5 days and nights with all your meals included, transfers from the airport. And I'm flying from Virginia with a few people, so the flights are under $700 too.
Well, that's what I thought. You said $700. Now that's not included in the cost of the retreat.
No,
that's additional. Someone
that's
pays
correct.
for the flight. Okay.
Yeah.
And the dates for it.
April 14th, we fly out, get there, like you leave in 1 a.m. and then you get there in the afternoon and go up the mountain. They transfer you. So 14th to the 19th.
Okay.
And then actually myself and 3 others are going to take a little side adventure. I've not yet seen the city of Cartagena, but I'm going to travel this time because I have a feeling, ladies, that I'm going to go back there next year because I got to bring Mike. I got to take my husband.
Oh, of course. Mike
And
would love that.
I think that there's going to be like a couples thing there, a couples yoga retreat that I can also lead anyway. So April 14th, the 19th is the complete retreat
Okay.
date.
So how do they get in touch with you if they're interested?
You could go to my website, Awakened Soulmate. So I have 2 different websites. I have my fitness website, but the link with the information, and I don't know if you have show notes, or I'll put it and give it to you and your notes down below or whatever.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get it in, but do
Okay.
message it to me and I'll
Okay. So it's
I'll see what I can
Awakened.
do with my
Yeah.
high tech.
That's good. I know.
There's some other challenge to learn.
That's okay. We got this, girls. We got this. AwakenedSoulmate.com is
Okay.
my website, which launched during COVID, during the pandemic. That's my coaching website. And on there, underneath the bars, you'll see the words, there's offerings of coaching and contact, but retreat, it says, and you click on that, pulls down all the information. Why Colombia? Your frequently asked questions are on there, all of that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
So you'll get all of Monica and all of yoga and all the coaching and
Yeah.
all the food and
Yeah.
all the adventure and all the
Yeah.
enthusiasm.
Healthy,
Because
healthy food.
Monica's a little bit of a shrinking violet, so you might have to draw her out a little bit to see what she's really all about. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think if you spend 5 days with her on the mountains of Colombia, you will see that she's just a ball of energy and fun and positivity and encouragement and joy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So you
that's
definitely
who
allude joy. Yeah, you're
that's who she is
Yeah.
joy.
Yeah, I thank you. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my mission in life is I like the acronym for HOPE, help open people's eyes to the innate light or joy within that we have forgotten. Science shows us we forget and we get, fear and circumstances at around age 7. So my mission is to infuse it back and to walk alongside my clients, my coaching clients. I don't go behind, I don't lead in front. I'm right there next to you, holding space for you.
and you're a walking example of that joy.
Yeah. I tell you what, I thank you. I'm so excited to share. I have to tell you why. What you have to come and see this. Those of you, the local, I am coming back from this trip and going to be in our town with my beloved on the stage. So our next adventure is literally the mountains of memorizing lines.
You could do that on the plane, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So please, if this calls out to you, anyone resonates with this, Lorna, Marianne, I know you girls are adventure seekers, and I know you might have time in your schedule this year. If not, we'll plant the seed for next year.
All right. Well, we'll put whatever you send me somewhere. It'll at least be in the notes below the podcast.
Great.
And if we can get it on the screen, we'll be amazing.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. That would be great.
But
Yeah.
Monica,
And yeah, go ahead.
thank you so much.
Yes,
And,
been awesome.
and Lorna, did you have any other thoughts?
No, but I
comments?
did want to ask, you said you had an acronym that you were going to share.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Yes.
So yes, I
You
have.
can't get off without hearing this.
I do. I have to say that it's a work in progress, but I love acronyms, and I'm working on a lead magnet for all you all to send out there, which will have all of my acronyms. And I just want to say, before I get to amazing, I just want to say I created this one because I love plunging. I haven't done deep scuba diving yet. Have you done scuba diving yet?
I just did a holiday dive. So you have certification for 2 weeks and you don't go very deep. You go about 40 feet.
Okay.
But that's deep enough for me.
Wow, that's
I know you're
impressive.
tired to do
Okay.
that.
That's on my list. But this plunge, the word plunge, plunging into your life, right? And taking action, going back to the quote. Please your soul is the P. L is for let your inner child play. U is for unleash fear now. Oh, sorry. N is for now is the time. Unleash fear. Now is the time is your N. G, get ready, get set. And E, exhilarate. That's plunge. I want you to
okay.
plunge. And so I'll finish with amazing. I want to just say this is a work in progress, but I'll embellish this. I might even do a little YouTube video on it on my YouTube channel. A, awareness, which moves you towards awe. A is awareness. M is for moves. A is awe. We're getting that amazing word out. Z and zest is a natural N, greatness. That's the amazing that you are all naturally aware, moving to awe, zest, natural greatness. Yeah, that's a work in progress, but there you go.
Thank you for thank you for thinking of our word. We really appreciate that. And thank you for being a guest on our podcast.
Oh,
Monica.
I am grateful to you.
Lots of joy and lots of enthusiasm.
And we look forward to seeing all that you do in the future.
I thank you. And oh, P.S. by the way, the people, if they come to it, this gets a copy of the book.
Autographed, you said, yes.
Autographed. The book is available where all books are sold, but the book is the through line of the theme of it. The trek is called Open Your Presence, Explore the World. Explore your world.
Oh,
Yes.
Monica, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So everybody, you're going to go to the website one more time.
Awakened Soulmate.
One word, not all connected.
Yeah. The eyes open.
AwakenedSoulmate.com.
Yep. That's it.
All
That's
right.
You got
Have a fabulous time, and thank you guys for joining us for another podcast of Isn't She Amazing? Isn't she amazing?
Hey, thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.